Hi and welcome to part 11 of this DCP Web HTML and CSS beginners tutorial. In today's tutorial I'm going to show you how we can add URL links to a page. So let's go ahead and open up our web browser and we'll open up our notepad file. And the last thing we did was we created this table, right? So let's open up this folder and we drag and drop the HTML page into the browser. And if we scroll all the way down, we'll see our table here. So let's go ahead and put in a horizontal rule. So we get a line here. Just remember to save it, and when you refresh you'll see a line here. And we want to add some links. So you know when you're surfing websites and you're surfing pages, or if you look on Google and you search for something, you click on one of them pages, those are called URL links. So we want to be able to add some links to this page. I'm going to show you how to do that. And you can link to almost any page on the internet. You know, so there are some exceptions, but most pages you should be able to link to. So there's a tag called the anchor tag with an A inside, and the anchor tag has an opening and a closing tag. Yeah, and the anchor tag has an attribute called href, which stands for hypertext reference. That's what it actually means. Well, that's what it stands for, but we normally just call it a href. And that has to have a value, so it has to equal something, and what you put inside of it is going to be where the link will take you to. So we're going to put in here https://www.these. Let's go to google.com. So if I save this and refresh the page, you'll see nothing will happen, because this is a reference, yeah. So in between these tags we need to put some text here. So if we wrote something like click here to go to Google website and save it, now that text there that we've written in between the tags will become the text that we can click on to go to Google, and this is where it's going to take us to. So if we click on it, we'll see it takes us to Google. So that works. You'll notice though, when we click on the link, it opens in the same tab, so we lose our previous web page. And if you noticed on some websites, when you click on links, it will open in a new tab, and then you can close that new tab and go back and you'll be on the original website again. We can do that by adding another tag, and that tag is called the target tag. Target. And what do we want to target? We want to target a blank web page, so we use the underscore blank. And if we refresh now and go to this link, you'll notice, look, it's in a new tab now, and if we close that tab, it will be back to this original page again. So we don't lose that page, it's opening in a new tab. That's quite important to know, because if you're going to link to someone else's website, you're going to link to something external like your social media account. So if we look on my own website, for example, and if we were to scroll down the page, you'll see all of these are linked to my social media. So if I click on Twitter, for example, we can see my Twitter page, but when I close Twitter, I'm back to my website. If I click on YouTube, you'll see my YouTube page load up, but when I close YouTube page, we're back to my website. So it's opening using the target blank, these buttons here, for example. Yeah, that's a good example. So let's close that. We're back to our website again, the one that we're building, and let us let's look at some other types of links that we can create. So the first one is we've linked to Google. Now let's do another one. Let's say we want to, let's just find any random website, right? So let's think of something to find. Maybe let's have a look for, let's do a Google search for Chelsea flower show, right? So this is quite a big sort of event that happens in London every year. It's called the Chelsea Flower Show, and you can go there and look at all these nice flowers and gardens and stuff like that. and loads of people go there, and it's quite a big event every year. So this is the link to Chelsea Flower Show website. right here. So let's create a link from our website to this website. So we're going to do the open tag, and we're going to do the close tag, and then we're going to say href equals, and then we're going to do open and close speech marks here. And then we're going to select this link here, copy, and then we're going to go to here, and then we can either right click, paste, or press Ctrl V. Now we've got the link. What else do we need? Because this is an external website, so if we close down this Chelsea Flower Show, and this is an external site, right? So we want to target a underscore blank window. We want to target a blank window. Now we need to give this URL something to click on, right? So some text to click on. So why don't we say something like, why not visit the Chelsea Flower Show. Now when we refresh, you can see, why not visit the Chelsea Flower Show. But if you notice, both of these links are on the same line. Now we could add paragraph tags around these links, but there's a new tag that I want to introduce you to, and we use this sometimes. It's called the break tag, BR, and it's like a break line. It's like carriage return or hitting the enter key on your keyboard. And when we refresh, you can see it will put it onto a new line. That's different to the paragraph tag, because if you look before when we was using the paragraph tags, it would actually add a blank space. It would add a blank space in between the lines. With the break line, it just pushes it to a new line. So you could have many links all in without having the blank space in between them, basically. Yeah? And these are separate links now. So if we click on the Chelsea Flower Show, it will go to that page. So that's working now. So we've got two external links. Let's have a look at one other type of link. We'll actually look at a few more. So there's sometimes when you're on a web page and you click somewhere and it will take you to another part of the page, right? So sometimes you get right to the bottom of a page and you want your customer or your user to be able to get to the top of the page without having to scroll all the way to the top. We call that an anchor. So we'll create that anchor now. So what we do is we create an anchor tag like we did before. But this time we don't want to have a URL link. So we're going to do a href equals, and we're going to do hash. So we're going to hit the hash key on this keyboard. Where's the hash key? Let's find that. Hash is here, number 3, right? That's on the American keyboard, and on UK keyboard it would be right here actually, next to the enter key here, the hash key. So find the hash key, and we're going to do hash, and let's say we call it, I don't know, top, for example, because we want to go to the top of the page. And then in here it will say something like go to top of page, and we'll save it. And let's refresh, and we can see go to top of page. So let's add another break here to put it on the new line, and when we click it, it goes to the top of the page. Now there's one thing that you need to do is really let's just go back down here. Okay, in theory that shouldn't really work. But because it's a bit hard to explain, but really there should be a tag up here that's telling this link exactly where to go. So really that would be here, right here. So we need to actually put another anchor in here. So it'll be we need to put an anchor in here with an ID of top, and close that. This is actually correct, but let's try one other option. So we'll copy this and we'll say let's say we want to go to let's move down to this get a free quote, right? So right here we'll do free quote ID. So we put the anchor tag in, and the ID for this anchor tag will be free quote. If we copy this text free quote, look, there's no spaces, it's just free quote written like this with a capital Q. And we go back down here, and instead of top we say free quote, and we say in here get a free quote. Then when we load our page, let's load our page, it will take us to get a free quote here. Can you see it goes to this position here? And if we were to move, let's just say we move that top tag, this one, if we move it to another position, let's say we move it to here, where we start our bullets, right? Let's put it right here. Top bullets, yeah? To the top of the bullets right here. Let's put capital B here, make it easier to read. Then we could copy this tag. In fact, we'll make another link, right? Let's just do that. So we'll copy this one, paste it down, and I believe we called it top bullets. We can just say here go to bullet list, and in between these tags we'll put a break line, and if we refresh, let's just reload the page, we've got go to bullets. We click that, it goes to the bullets. We could probably move that, that's fine actually, goes to the bullets here. If we scroll down and say get a free quote, it goes to get a free quote. And did we leave one at the top? Let's have a look. Okay, we removed the go to top one, so let's put that in there anyway. So a anchor, the ID is top, then we can create an anchor, so we can copy both of these elements, the break and the anchor itself, paste it below. Let's just realign this, and this one will now just be top, and we can just say here go to top of page, save it, refresh, and now we've got go to top of page. Click that one, it will take us to the very top. Click this one, it will take us to the bullet list. Click this one, it will take us to get a free quote. So these are called internal anchors, and you'll notice that when you click on one of these, so let's just say we click on let's say we click on go to bullets. When we click on it, the URL here, index.html hash top bullets, because we clicked on this one here, go to top, so it's put the hash top bullets, and that's the reference to where it needs to go in the page, and it knows where it needs to go because we put this anchor right here with the ID in it, right? So that all makes sense. Let's do one more thing before we finish. So sometimes on web pages you'll see images. So we've got an image on our web page right here, and these images can be also linked. So when you click on the image, it will be nice if it could go somewhere, right? And that image could have some text in it, like visit attend our event, or join me at a party, or wherever it might be. That picture, when you click on it, you may want it to go somewhere, and someone might have to fill out a form or go to another website or go to another page on your own website. So let's do two more examples. Let's do one where we're going to link to something else using this image, right? So let's replicate this image first. So if you remember, the image tag is img for image, and then we need a src for the source, and then we'll open up the tags, and the image, if I remember correctly, is in a folder called images, and it was called image1.jpg. So let's just double check that. It's in a folder called images, so we've got the folder called images, and inside of there we've got one file called image.jpg1, or image1.jpg. Right, so that's correct. Then here we need to do the width equals 300, put in speech marks, and then the height equals what does it equal? Let's say 250. Then we can reload here and we'll see the picture. Now let's see, something ain't quite right here. So let's try and figure out what's gone wrong here, because it's sitting like the go to top of page is sitting below. It shouldn't be like that. Let's just get rid of these hashes, yeah? Let's see if that fixes it. So why are these sitting in between? Sometimes these things happen, right? You need to try and work out what's going on. Why is it doing that? It shouldn't be doing that. So let's try and add a break here. That's probably why. It's not separating. Now it's fine, yeah? And we could even add a paragraph around our image to give it a bit more space. Now it's got a bit more space, because it was treating this and the image all on one single line. That's why it was looking a bit funny there. So this image looks okay actually, and now what we want to do is create a link on this image to go to, and since it's got a flower in it, we might as well send it to the Chelsea Flower Show, right? So to do that, we want to surround the image with a link. That's what we're trying to do. So let me just break it down in a slightly different way. Normally I wouldn't do it this way, but it might make a bit more sense. So above the image tag, above it, we want to create an anchor, right? So anchor, and we want to close the anchor below it so that the image is sitting in between, right? It's because we've got, look at this one here, we've got text, we've got this text line. This is the opening tag and this is the closing one, and we've got text that sits in between. In this example, we're going to have an image that sits in between the anchor tag. And in here we want to do again href equals, and I'm going to cheat a little here and just copy this one, and we'll go to the Chelsea Flower Show, and we're going to target a blank window. And remember, on this image we're missing something, right? If you can remember from our previous tutorial, the previous example, images should always have an alt tag to say what is this about. So we can say this is visit Chelsea Flower Show. Refresh. So now you can see if I move my mouse on this image, nothing happens, right? It's just a normal mouse icon. But if I move my mouse on this image, in fact we'll set this to, that's a bit too high, let's set it to 200. That looks a bit better. But when I move my mouse on this one, you can see there's a finger pointing. It wants me to do something. So if I click on it, it will open up the Chelsea Flower Show web page. So that's how we can add an image. And that really, this image here, or this image with the link, is not really that much different from this one, this Chelsea Flower Show one here. The only difference between this one and this one is here you can see there's text in between the anchor tags, and here you can see there is an image here in between the anchor tags. That's the only difference between the two. So one has an image and one has an anchor. That's it. That's the only difference. So let's do one more example, because at the moment we're only linking to what we call external pages. Now when you go to a website, let's take a look at my one quickly. You'll have a lot of internal pages. So you have like website design and you have website design overview. When I click on that, it opens in the same window, but we're still on the same website at the same time. So that's called an internal link. So let's try and do an example of that. So to do this, really we need to create a blank page, because at the moment we only have one page, so we've got nothing to link to. So let's quickly make a new page, just a simple basic one. So we'll click new here. So we've got a new document. We're going to go to File, Save As, and we're in that same directory. So make sure you're in your website design directory. You'll see index here, but this one we're going to call, let's just call it new page for now, .html. It's going to be called new page.html, and it's just a blank page. So let's quickly put in our doc title, doc type. This is our document declaration, which is HTML. We're going to put in our HTML tag. We did this at the very beginning, if you remember, and we need to close our HTML tag. Remember to close everything, all your tags. Then we need to put in, what do we need? We need a head. Remember, like the person with the body and the head, we need to give the person a head, and then we need to give them also a body. So that is really right here. It's just the real basic format of a HTML page. You can see how quickly you can do that. It's very easy. Now inside that head tag, we need to create, what do we need? We need a title, right? Let's title this page, and we're going to call this new page, and inside of this body we'll create an anchor, another one, just as an example, and in here we do href equals, and in this example we're just going to type in index.html, and we're going to say this is a link to the first page I created, and save it. That's it. That's just a basic page now with this anchor text. Sorry, this link inside. So let's go back. Can you see there's two tabs here now? We've got the new page tab, HTML, and we've got the index. So we'll go back to the index, and we'll create one more link here just to finalize, and then we'll be done. So let's create this, and we want to create a h reference, and that h reference is going to go to new page.html, and we'll say in here link to new page. So now we've got two pages. We've built two separate pages, and when we refresh, we've got link to new page. We click that, and it takes us to the new page. And if we click this link, it takes us back to the other page, because here we're saying link to new page, and when we get to that new page, we created another link that links us back to our index page, our original page, right? So that's how we create internal links in our website from page to page, and you can see a good example of that right here. So on this top navigation, if I go to website design overview and I go back to home, so that's linking between two different pages. I've got a responsive design, but I can also get back to the home page, right? So this navigation is no more different than the two pages we just created. You can consider this to be a navigation here, right? QUOT, I spelled that wrong. Get a free quote. Let's fix that. I don't like bad spelling. Where is that? Get a free QUO quote. There you go, quote. Okay, so that's just some basic examples of how to create URL links on your page. We've done some examples where we've got just links to external pages, and those external pages that we're linking to will open in a new window. We've got links here that are called anchors, that will anchor to a certain position on the page, so it will go to a certain point on the page. Then we've got images which we can click on, and those can link to external websites, and that could quite easily have linked to our internal page as well. And then we've got an internal page link, and you'll notice one thing that's quite important is when we create an internal link page, we don't have to do the https://www.blah blah blah. We don't need to do that, because the browser and the software understands that these two pages sit in the same location. So we don't need all of that HTTPS to be put in front of this link here, but we do need it for the rest of these because they're external sites away from this page. So I hope that all makes sense. I'm going to save this and let's close this down, and let's close this down. So I hope you enjoyed that part of this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you in the next DCP web tutorial.